We are starting the draft, baby. 101. You know, I have not taken C-Mac at any draft so far. I've taken Tyreek. I have not taken C-Mac. I'm gonna take C-Mac and see what happens. I'm gonna take C-Mac and see what happens here. I'm gonna take C-Mac. I'm drafting right next to you for the first time. Let's see how this goes. Gonna be good. Oh shit, you're gonna be sniping, huh? Sniping, huh? So let me ask you guys this: like in a draft, you guys think it's harder to like the person you're drafting like next to? Is it harder for you to draft? I don't really feel that way. But I notice a lot of people like to draft close to the spot. Like, is it harder to draft with somebody right next to you, like they take your player, or do you guys just intentionally do that to snipe me? Y'all trying to snipe me? Is that what the fuck this is, huh? Y'all think you're just gonna snipe me? Y'all think you're just gonna snipe me? All right. What do you think of Kyler this year? I think Kyler is, on any given week is going to be a top 5 quarterback. Like he has the rushing ability. Obviously, like you want to see the receiving core a little bit better. He's probably not going to pass for like more than 3,500 yards this year, but like Kyler should still be really effective. So I think if you're looking for a QB1 in like the back end QB1 conversation, like after the top 6 guys are gone, Kyler has just as much upside as Anthony Richardson, as a CJ Stroud, as a Josh Allen. Like we've seen Kyler be a top 5 quarterback before. So I love Kyler's value this year, and I think you're getting a discount on him because of the injury from last season. But when he came back, he was a top 5 per game asset. So I think we're just getting a discount for whatever reason on Kyler. I don't really understand why, but I love getting Kyler after like the top, just depending on how the draft's going. He goes in kind of a weird spot where like there's other positional players where it's kind of like the last of the good RB2s, the last of the good wide receiver 3s. So depending on how your draft, or if you like a guy that's after that range, now you could go get Kyler. But I think for sure Kyler to me is going to be like a top 5 on a weekly basis. Whether he finishes there, I don't know. Like I don't like predicting. I think this guy is going to be a top 5 guy. Like I'll say that in a take, but for the most part, it's tiers and like, did they miss games or, did they have a bad streak throughout the year? I think on a week-to-week basis, though, we're going to be ranking Kyler right up there with those guys. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't. I don't see a reason why we wouldn't. I don't. Guys, make sure y'all sign up for the Dub Club. If you are new here, I have a Dub Club. I'm going to be dropping my rankings on that platform. Today, there will be some season-long bets. So if you're here for like player props, I actually just did a few of them. I'll give you guys early access to the player props that I'm going to be talking about this week. See, I love y'all. YouTube, I love y'all, man. And if you're here for the first time and you haven't subbed to the YouTube, like, I don't know what you're doing, man. Sub to the YouTube. All right, so some of them that I took the other day. Travis Kelce's receiving prop is at 950 yards. I went lower on Travis Kelce's receiving prop. Wouldn't surprise me to see Mahomes spread it out a little bit more this year. Touchdowns wise, I think Kelce will be fine, but I think yardage wise, it's asking a lot for a guy. I took lower than 950 on the receiving prop for Travis Kelce. Trey McBride's receiving prop is at 750. I don't think there's any way Trey McBride should be like around 1,000 yards. I don't know why. To me, unless he misses games, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be the leading or second leading receiver on the Cardinals. So Trey McBride to me, 750. I took the higher on that. Took the over. Bijan's rushing prop is at 1,000. He did not hit his 1,000-yard marker last year. He was at like 930 something. Bijan's getting his first 1,000-yard season this year, unless he just gets hurt. And I think even if he got hurt for 2-3 games, he's still going to hit 1,000 yards this year. So I got higher on Bijan, over 1,000 yards rushing. Chris Godwin is at 850. He's only not hit this marker twice in his career. Both times he was hurt. The other time when he was back in the slot, he had 1,300 yards receiving. That was in 2019. His receiving prop is at 850 yards. 850. So unless Godwin gets hurt again, he had 1,000 yards the last 2 seasons. And one of those was coming off of a torn ACL. And the other one was last season with Baker. He had 1,000 yards. So I don't see why it's at 850 unless he just gets hurt. Jamar Chase is at 1,300 yards. I think that's kind of high for Jamar Chase. With T. Higgins back now and with Joe Burrow, we know he's been kind of injury prone over his career. So I got Jamar Chase lower on the receiving yards, 1,300. I think that's kind of a high number for him. I also have lower for Garrett Wilson at 1,225 receiving yards. I've talked about this. I don't think Aaron Rodgers is the type to like significantly increase yardage. He's more of a touchdown type of improvement for receivers. So, yes, Garrett Wilson's had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons with lesser quarterbacks, but unless Aaron Rodgers is throwing for over 4,000 yards, it's going to be spread out a little bit with him too. So, Garrett Wilson under 1,225. And then Caleb Williams is at, let me get my picks down real quick. Y'all liking these or no? Y'all liking these? All right. Players left right now. Let's see. So I'm gonna grab Michael Pittman here, and then also I'm gonna get Cooper Kupp. Let's get a couple of receivers here. Good floor. Maybe I could have took Chris Olave here. I just like the upside with Pittman a little bit better. I think I did good there. Only one other player I really would have considered there, and that's Alvin Kamara. But as you guys know, I've been drafting him in every single draft. All right, to finish out the player props, I got Caleb Williams lower than 3,650 yards. Obviously, he could smash this, but like most rookie quarterbacks don't come in and throw for like 4,000 yards. It's rarely doesn't even happen. Last year, CJ Stroud, he threw for 41. I think Trevor had 43 or something like that. Somebody has the rookie record. I want to say it's CJ Stroud that has it. Maybe it was Trevor. I can't remember honestly what it is. But 3,650 yards is a lot for a rookie who's going to come in, has plenty of weapons. I'm not saying that he doesn't have the weapons, but also playing in Chicago, who's never had a 4,000-yard passer. If he happens to miss a game or two as well, like that number becomes significantly easier to obtain. So I'm under 3,650 yards for Caleb Williams. And then the last one I'll talk about right now, Alvin Kamara's rushing prop. Alvin Kamara's rushing prop is at 625 yards. 625 yards. Now, I know normally he's around like 750. It's just this number to me is way too low. And I think everybody's anticipating this huge fall off from Kamara. I don't see it happening. The offense looks the same to me. He's going to be utilized the same way. So I go higher on the rushing, who's been pretty durable throughout his career. Like he normally misses a game or two each season. Give me Alvin, and still hits this number pretty consistently. Give me the over for Alvin Kamara. The over for Alvin Kamara is 625. So y'all just got an insight. I'm going to be posting those plays on the Dub Club. Also going to have some things for Dub Club members who sign up before the 15th, especially some of the first guys like Cade. Cade, I got some shit coming for you, Cade, man. Appreciate you always supporting and modding and doing everything for the channel. But those who sign up on Dub Club are going to get some shit from me. So, Cade, I know you're not here on this chat, but if you watch this, I got something coming your way, homie. But yeah, so everybody who signs up initially is going to get all my stuff for free for the next 2 weeks, including the rankings, any of my season-long props, dubclub.win, Justin Henry with the 3 instead of an E. All my rankings, season-long props, season-long rankings are going to be on there. All right? Even my research. I'm going to throw my research on there if I can. I don't know what I can do and not do on there. I'm going to try to throw some of my research on there. But like if you're looking for player props later in the season or you're looking for my weekly rankings, it's always going to be on there this year. And I'm going to have NBA props too. This guy, besides you picking what you say, Pickens over on the yards. Yes. I got to look at the number for, let me see if I can find the number for him. I'm probably going over on the yardage for him too. Depending on what it is, man. Like I said, it's all about value, right? It's all about value. And so for me, I got to make sure that it does line up. Let's see what Pickens is. I don't see. Pickens is already at 1,000. He's at 1,000. Like I think he's going to get there, but he's already at 1,000. Like, I can see him getting 1,200, but he's at I don't know, 1,000. That's like right at the, if he had 960 because he missed 3 games, I don't think that would surprise anybody. I would go higher. If I was going to pick it, I would go higher. Let me do some more homework and research on that one, but I might add that one in. How'd I get to the Patreon? The Patreon is going to be blown up. So I talked about that. I was going to do Patreon, and I'm going to have to go back through a lot of videos and update links and shit. But the Patreon is going to be no more. It's just going to be Dub Club, okay? Because I'm not going to upload to both. So I'm actually going to make that my last post on Patreon is to join the Dub Club if you want that. Otherwise, if you're looking for like all free stuff, access, you can get free access to the Dub Club for 2 weeks until the 15th. Other than that, it's going to be free for members and subscribers on members on YouTube, subscribers on TikTok, members on YouTube. I'm going to give a discount. Some of the mods and people on here are going to get free access, but the Patreon is probably going to be no longer. If you're looking for like my free stuff, it's going to be all in the YouTube, on my social media. That's going to be all free. So I'll have free picks, free rankings and stuff there. It's not going to be all hidden. There's going to be a lot of value you guys are getting, but for the paid stuff, it's going to be behind a paywall this year. All right. So if you're looking to get in the Dub Club now, it's going to be free for the next 2 weeks. That's where my rankings will be at. That's where my draft guide will be at. Everything's going to be behind the paywall this year, unfortunately, for like the higher level stuff. But if you want to watch the show and support, a lot of what you are going to see in there, you're probably going to hear from me at some point on a stream. So it's up to you how you do it. Not the picks, the player props and shit. That's going to be strictly on there, though. Strictly on there. So that's how to get access to me this year. And then like FaceTimes, like if you're going to want to schedule a face-to-face and shit, it's probably going to all be on there this year. How y'all feeling about your draft so far? I think one of the things I think about when you do more flex positions is you got to be careful, which all of you have. You got to be careful when you take a quarterback. And in a 14-team league, only thing is in a 14-team league, quarterbacks are going to go. It's only one quarterback. So if you have a deeper bench, I'd recommend taking 2. If you don't have a deeper bench, I don't think it matters to just take 1. But you will need a lot of flex positions to start. Like you will have to have people starting for you flex wise. So make sure you're drafting deep. Like I probably could have won a few more bench spots. I'm just running low on time. But make sure in your, whatever, if you have 2 flex, 3 flex, whatever it is, that you draft your team deep because you have to have good starters. So that'd be my recommendation. Wait on quarterback as long as you can so you can get that. Yeah. How y'all feeling about the draft this year? Like, do you feel like there's a certain spot where it goes dry? For me, once the top like 35 receivers are gone, it gets ugly. Once the top about 25 to 35 running backs are gone, it gets really slim picking. So how y'all feel about the positions this year? How y'all feel about the positions this year? I talked about Clay, Paul George, and we did strategy on QB. Super flex. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Who has a good start right now? We got Tyreek Hill, Jacobs, Kamara. I like the start there. CeeDee Lamb, Debo, DK, Chase, Waddle, Olave. Not mad at it. Jefferson, Kyron. I feel like a lot of people who draft Kyron get Achane right after it. Are you guys noticing that too? Like whoever gets Kyron almost always gets Devin Achane too. Like Yeet Man with the all young squad. Yeet Man has got Kyron and Achane. I think the last couple drafts we've had, the person who gets Kyron a lot of times is able to get Devin Achane. And now, if Achane and Kyron hit, this becomes a championship type squad. That's a funny thing for me. Like those two seem to go together in drafts. It's weird. Evans, Devontae Smith, McLaurin, Brees. We got St. Brown, Travis Etienne, Amari Cooper, and then is my pick. And Josh Allen, not bad. So receivers are drying up. I'm going to grab Calvin right now. Running backs are probably driving up too. Damn. I'm going to grab Stevenson down here. I don't like it. I don't think I've taken Stevenson in any draft. Ramondre, who got a new contract from the Patriots. First time doing a 14-man, so it's kind of tough. Yes, these larger drafts, your team, it's going to look thinner on paper, but you also have to remember what everybody else is working with too, right? So when you go through, you have to think, all right, everybody else is going to go through the same thing I am. So you have to try to make sure you're getting, I would say I value a little bit more consistency over risk reward in your 14, 16 man leagues. Like get players who are lit. I'm not saying you have to do this, but you would want to draft a little bit more reliability because if one of your misses, if one of your risky players misses in a 14 or 16 man league, you just lost your second round pick. And it's already like, it's tough already in 14 man to draft. So if you have an injury and a miss, your team's probably out the playoffs. Like that's how you gotta kind of figure with the 14 or 16 man leagues. It is tough. But that's why we practice. So you can get used to this too. I hate neighbors, but the value is all right. I think it was early for neighbors. When you take them, you took them in the fourth. Yeah, it's not terrible if you think he's good. But like, what do you expect out of neighbors? Do you think he's gonna hit 1,000 yards? Probably not. So I think there's a couple other guys that have 1,000-yard trajectory more so than him. With Daniel Jones, yeah, and it's got to be because of Daniel Jones, right? At quarterback, Daniel Jones has never had a receiver go over 800 yards. Never had a receiver go over 800 yards. So, and I mean, he's had Kenny Galladay, Darius Slayton for years. They drafted Wan'Dale Robinson, in the second round, even though he's been hurt. He drafted Jalen Hyatt in the third round. They traded for Isaiah Hodgins. A lot of those guys are still there. It's just like Daniel Jones isn't like this elite quarterback. So you're not an elite quarterback. Hurts was good value. Yeah, Hurts was good value there. I like my start a lot. Tyreek Hill, Jacobs, Kamara. Yeah, you have a good start. And I was debating between like a Laporta, Kelsey, or McBride there. McBride was gone. So I was debating between Laporta or Kelsey, but I just went running back. Because running back's going to thin up with all these flex spots. So I don't mind the Laporta pick. But when you got three, what do we have? Do we have 2 flex or 3 flex? I already can't remember. Was it 2 or 3 flex? Somebody tell me. I think it tells me right here. So we have 3 flex spots. Yeah, with 3 flex spots, I don't want to start a whole lot of tight ends. Bosco, what's good? You said, what's up, Jahan? I got last place in my league last year. Yikes. Need you to lead me to victory this year. We'll definitely hop in these mock drafts. Like I said, sub to the page, bro. I would say more people than not are in this chat or that follow me, at least are making playoffs. Maybe you'll have a couple leagues where you don't, or maybe I said some shit that gets you off track. But I would say for the most part, if you're here mocking, you're going to be and paying attention, you're going to be doing pretty well in your leagues. Chat, let everybody know how you guys normally do in your leagues. Let everybody know this is your time to fucking to floss, to flaunt. Let me know. Y'all first place, y'all second place most of the time, or you guys average a playoff team. Like, talk to me. Let me know how you guys finish. The people who rock with me and are here. Let me know how you guys typically do in your leagues, in your home leagues. Like, is it home league, competitive league? You feel confident, like you're the best fantasy player in your group? Like, how do y'all normally feel? Because I feel like my chat is pretty damn good. I feel like my chat is pretty damn good when it comes to fantasy. Let me know how y'all do in the chat. So Bosco, and you can ask away, questions. If you got questions about your team, redraft, dynasty, whatever it is, bro, that's my job to help you out. All right. So I feel really good about my chat versus anybody else's chat. I feel like my chat would slaughter any other fantasy chat there is out there. I feel very confident about that. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like I got a lot of winners in the chat. And if not, very close. I feel like at least playoffs. I mean, I'm not going to manage every team. I don't know what your guys' leagues look like. I feel like at least playoffs in whatever leagues you're in, you're making playoffs. And I feel like you're probably one of the more competitive teams if you rock with my content. Let's see. Last year was my first time. I got 4th out of 6 and 1, 5th out of 6. I kept changing players 10 minutes before the game and it killed me. Yeah, so there's 2 things there, right? Number one, you don't want to do last minute lineup changes. That's one of the worst things you could do for fantasy. It sucks because you do the work all the way up into the week, and then you're like, "Ooh, there's this one spot I want to, change at the last minute." So I don't fault you for it. It happens. I can still do that at times. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can do that too. But like, I would say that would be one thing that if you can learn, just kind of go with your gut throughout the week. Leave your lineup as is once you've got the starting lineup. Don't let any last minute like changes affect you. And then part two is try to find a bigger league, Texas T. Try to find a bigger league, right? Six is a lot of luck, right? Because you have so many players that are still out there in free agency. If you're not the first person to pick them up, you lose. Like sixth is like everybody has great teams. There's no, it's not really like one team is so much better than the other, right? So I would up your league to like 10 or 12 teams, 10 team at the minimum, and try to find a more competitive group. So I don't think you getting fourth or fifth in a 6-team league is indicative at all of where your talent is. So if it was your first time playing, hopefully you learned some things. Like I said, try to find a bigger league. And if not, we still gonna find a way to get you that win this year. I've never won less than half my leagues. I always at least go 500. Yeah, I figured out, Ryan, with the way you are. I usually do 2 teams a year. 1 8, another 10. In my 10 man, I'm always second or third. And in my 8, I'm like third last every time. Miss the playoffs. It's the shorter leagues, right? A lot of times I hear like luck is in fantasy football, or man, the advice didn't work. A lot of times what we talk here on this channel is for PPR leagues, first of all, and for deeper leagues, for 10, 12, 14 team leagues. I would say this: if you're in a 6 or 8 man league, either make it a super flex, add 2 or 3 flex spots, but you got to get more players. So you can't just be picking up players that are starters off free agency. Like last year, I did a couple FaceTimes with people, and I would notice like a Najee Harris would be on waivers, or like a Tony Pollard got cut, or like, George Pickens is out there. And it's like players like that shouldn't just be readily available. And then everything hinges on the fantasy playoffs and who gets hot. That's not fair. So I think if you are struggling with like luck or smaller teams, and it's not just like a casual thing, you really want to be competitive, up the amount of teams that you're in. Up the amount of teams. All right. We'll continue to be looking at positional players here and filling this team out. And damn. 10 seconds left. I think I'm going to take Roma Dunze. I don't want to, but I'm going to take him. And I'm going to take JSN too. I don't like the pick of Odunze there. Not going to lie, but I'll take the value. I'll take the value. I'm going to have to go on auto. Apologize. Work suddenly got busy. Come on, Brad. How you going to go on auto pick, bro? How you going to go on auto pick? Last year, I won 80% of my leagues and won 10K on Underdog Sunday main slate. Let's go, Ryan. We got to get another 10K in your bag this year, bro. Another 10K? That'd be dope, dog. That's dope. That's dope, bro. I always forget quarterbacks fall in this community. Yep. I would say this community is dope, bro. Like, why do you don't need to take quarterbacks so early in a single QB league, in Superflex earlier, but in I would say in single QB league, why? I had Dak, Olave, Puka, JT, and Brees. I still think fantasy gods were just trying to put me in my place. Dak, you had Dak, Olave, yeah, Olave. You had Puka, JT got hurt. Brees was really good. How did you get last with Dak and Brees? And Olave was decent all year. JT obviously missed time early. Puka was solid. How the hell did you get less? How many teams? I got first in one of my leagues and third in a couple of other leagues, third and fourth. Good. So yeah, Q, we on track here. We on track here. Champ in all my leagues last year. Yeah, I know that. See, I already know who I can just tell, like with how you guys draft and like how the comments you guys ask me, like I can always tell like this is a smart group. So I'm glad I have a lot of like intelligent fantasy people that even if you don't win your league, I can tell like you know how to play fantasy. Or there's a lot of people in here too who came and were like, it's my first time playing, or I've only been in leagues for like 1 or 2 years, and I see them doing well too. So it's always good to see, man. It's always good to see. Champ in all leagues is crazy. That's dope shit. That's goat shit. I got kicked out of the draft. I might be auto picked. We gotta find a reliable all of them. Which do you got? You guys like Sleeper more? Sleeper, Yahoo, ESPN? Like, we gotta find something reliable for us, man, as a community. Can't have people getting auto picked. We gotta find something more reliable. Sleeper, get your app right, bro. Oh, you got back in. Never mind. He said impressive. 10 team with Dak, Brees Hall. You had Puka. How did you get last? Because Dak was a top 3 quarterback last year. Puka was a top, what, 5'10 receiver. He was top 5 receiver last year. Brees Hall was the RB2 last year. How the hell did you get last place? Brees Hall had an incredible second half. Dak had an incredible second half. So you either did in a 10-team league, you either didn't set your lineup, you didn't set your lineup, the rest of your team was getting hurt on weeks when you played, or you had those guys and maybe you had somebody better and you didn't start them. There's no possible way you didn't, unless it was a 4-team or maybe it was a 14 playoff and you didn't you started off slow. But there's no possible way with Puka, Brees, Dak. I don't see a way you missed the playoffs. There ain't no way. And you had Jonathan Taylor, who had games at times, and you had Olave, who's consistent. I don't see how you. I think that hey, Bosco, I don't know you. I'm calling BS on this. I'm calling BS on last place. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I'm calling BS on that. Puka, Dak, Olave, JT, and Brees. Who else did you have? Unless you were just messing up and not paying attention, there's no way. I'm calling BS on that. Punishment was sitting in a dog cage with Ranch. Now, hey, if you had that, sorry, bro. I don't mean adding insult to injury. Like, no, you BS, and then yeah, sorry, bro. That's crazy. I don't like that. The humiliation. Put me at a Waffle House. Put me at a Waffle House. Put me at a McDonald's. You're not gonna throw a whole bunch of shit on me and put me in a cage. That's crazy. That's wild. Sleeper is the GOAT. Yeah, Sleeper. I feel like Sleeper is the GOAT, bro. Yeah, that is abuse. This is not cool at all. If your friends are doing that to you, bro, that's wild. I allowed the most points in the league by like 500 or more. It happens, dog. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it sounds a little. That sounds a little far fetched. I'm not gonna lie to you, Bosco. Not gonna lie to you. Sounds a little far fetched with those guys, unless you just weren't paying attention. Which, then I could see it. Then I could see it. Oh boy, y'all about to mess up. Y'all about to mess up and let me win a mock draft? How do I win a mock draft, bro? Y'all about to mess up. Y'all are about to mess up and let me win a mock draft. Did anybody sign up for Dub Club right now? If you sign up for Dub Club right now, I got something coming your way. Let me know. Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat. If you signed up for Dub Club during this live, put it in the chat. I'm going to sign something and send it to you. I'm going to sign a hat and send it to you. If you sign up for Dub Club, you're getting a signed hat. If you want one. If you sign up for Dub Club, you're getting a signed hat. I'm sending it your way. It's free until the 15th, so you can cancel your thing after that. But if you signed up for it right now, I'm giving you a signed hat. First person to tell me and verify it is getting it. If you sign up for Dub Club right now, I'm going to, like I said, I'll sign a hat, send it to you, as long as it's verified. All right, let's see. Jahan, you smoke any cigars? Oh shit, hold on. My time is up. I just got auto drafted, huh? Cool, it took Nick Chubb. It knows me. It knows me. How does it know me? Nick Chubb and Dallas Goedert, baby. Nick Chubb and Dallas Goedert. Good pick, Jordan Love right there. That was gonna be my other pick. It would have been Jordan Love and Chubb. Love Chubb and Goddard. JN, you smoke cigars? No, no cigars for me, bro. No cigars. I have smoked cigars in the past, but no, I got to preserve my lungs, bro. I do not smoke cigars. Do not partake in any extra recreational smoking at all anymore either. When I was younger, I did, but not anymore. No more recreational, medicinal activities. I am far removed from smoking anything. So I did. Okay, Ryan, I got you, bro. I got you. Ryan, me and you need to talk then. I'll get you in the league, get you the hat. I'll sign up right now. Just don't know how. Yeah. So if you sign up, Dub Club, it's on the link that's right here on the bottom of the chat. You'll see it on the bottom. You sign up for Dub Club. I think you have to download the app, look for my name, or you can use my Beacons link. My Beacons link. So you can go through there. It's in the description of this video. If you want to go to the description of the video, I think I have my Dub Club link in there. So yeah, sign up in there. Like I said, I'm gonna be dropping some plays later tonight. Probably tonight. I'm gonna drop the plays, and then plays all week are coming. So, and then my rankings will be out probably next week. Next week, I'm gonna have all my fantasy rankings out. Draft guide will be out shortly after that. Check Twitter. I told you I got you, Ryan. I'm gonna check your Twitter in a minute after the draft. Jahan, you used to smoke the Zaza. You got any bad stories? Nah, no bad story. I've been out like a light before. I feel like, I've been too gone before. Like there was one time I started contemplating like all the stars and constellations. I remember this one stuck with me. I was gone. And all the stars, I was thinking like, bro, are the stars all connected? Like, why does it look so much like DNA? Like I started going into this crazy thing and like thinking about like outer space and how like it could be a human. I remember thinking that like, damn, are we like another human? Like that was one of my like craziest thoughts. It's always kind of stuck with me is like, bro, it was like an outer body experience damn near. And then I've had one where funny story. We're playing poker. I used to play a lot of poker too, right? So we were playing poker at my buddy's house. This is back when I was in my 20s. We were playing actually early 30s. We were back to playing poker at my buddy's house, right? And so we all go over there. It's at night, we drink, have a few drinks, and playing cards or whatever. And one of the guys that's there, the host of the house, he's like, "Hey, yo, I'm gonna be back real quick. I'll be right back." So we're all playing, thinking nothing of it. We play cards, we play poker, we play dominoes, bro. And I'm a beast at dominoes, like hella competitive at poker too, right? Like I was a pretty good poker player. And we go through and we're playing, and we're probably like 2-3 games in already. Everybody's drinking and shit. And we're listening to music. The vibe is right. Like the vibe is right. So we come back and we're all sitting there playing, and then the guy that left came back. The guy whose house we were playing at, his wife was there, obviously, like chilling. But he came back. He's like, "Yo, y'all want some brownies?" We're like, "Whoa, what the fuck? You went and just got some brownies?" Like, hell yeah! Like, what's up? It's late night. You know what I'm saying? We already had like pizza there at their house, and we had been drinking. It's like, "Y'all want some brownies?" We're like, "Oh yeah, hell yeah! Let's do some brownies, right?" So we go and we had the brownies, right? I start eating this shit. I'm like, "Man, this shit tastes funny." Start eating the brownie. I'm like, "Man, this shit tastes kind of funny." I'm like, I get about halfway through the brownie, and I'm like, "Oh, it's that kind of brownie." I was like, "Oh shit." It's that kind of, and I'm with my wife, and so I'm like, damn, how much? Like, I ate the whole thing, and I'm like, damn, how strong were these, right? And if you've ever had anything, sorry, if you're under 18 or whatever, you shouldn't be listening to this combo. But if you've ever had any kind of brownie or thing like that, like them things hit you, and it's not just for like a couple hours, it hits you for a long ass time. It hits you for a while. So we hit that. I was like, oh man, this is about to be all bad. I had work the next day. And I wasn't even thinking about it at the time. I scarfed that brownie down. Well, to my next to me, he didn't even know. My buddy, he didn't even know that they had, you know what I'm saying, the cannabis in there. He didn't know it had the butter. And so he scarfed that thing down. He don't smoke. He don't do nothing. He just drinks. That's it. He don't do nothing extracurricular. So I was like, oh shit. And he didn't know that till later on. And we're like, bro, he was like, it had that in there. We're like, yes. So all of us are at the table. We're like, oh shit, these things are hitting us right now. And I drove home, right? Obviously, I'm not recommending this. I'm just telling the story. Y'all asked for the story. This is the bad story. I didn't really think much of it. I wasn't like too faded off the drinks, but I drove home off the brownie, and it was bad. So I'm driving, and I'm looking at my wife, and she had a brownie too. She don't really partake in anything like that. So I'm driving, and I'm looking at her and talking to her. I'm looking down at the speedometer. We're on the freeway, and it said like 45 miles an hour. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going way too slow. So I go and I pull off real quick. I'm like, all right, let me get right. Let me get right. I'm driving about, a little bit longer. We're talking, and we're almost at home. And I was like, bro, I don't even remember getting here. I was on autopilot. I was on mental autopilot the whole time. So I'm driving and don't even remember damn near driving home. But I'm like, oh shit, I'm home already. Like we're talking and I'm here, but I was not there driving. So moral of the story is know what you're eating. Do not do anything stupid like I did and drive home even after that. Call an Uber. We didn't have a whole lot of Ubers back then. Call an Uber, call a taxi, call something else. But yo, that was one of them moments I was like, oh shit, I'm not in a good spot right now. So I was gone. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I was floating. I was gone. And even the next day at work, I had to go to work the next day. I was out of it. So do not, if you don't know you're doing it, like make sure you know what you're getting into before you eat anything, drink anything at somebody else's house. That's what I'm gonna say. I did not think I'd be telling that story today, but I'm glad I did. That was funny, man. Reliving those times. I don't recommend it. I do not recommend it. A player somebody asked me about in the chat the other day. I'm gonna take Antonio Gibson right here. Somebody asked me the other day about Ty Chandler, and I thought it was a pretty good question. Said, does Ty Chandler have any value this year with does Ty Chandler have any value this year with the Vikings? He played well towards the end of last season. And a team did sign Aaron Jones, who's older, who does miss about 3 to 4 games a year. And I started thinking, I was like, nah, I don't really see the value unless Aaron Jones gets hurt. But chances are they're going to be splitting reps, like kind of like an AJ Dillon, who was always a top 25 to 30 asset in Green Bay. They have a younger quarterback, or they have Darnold, who they're probably going to be running the rock. I actually think Ty Chandler might be decent flex value at some point in the year without an injury. So while I think he would enter RB2 range if Aaron Jones were to go down, or when he probably goes down, I don't mind a Ty Chandler pick later in your drafts if you're looking for like a little bit of upside. So I don't know who asked me that question in the chat. It was of a YouTube video. It was a very good question. I haven't really put much thought into Ty Chandler, but he does belong in like that RB4 range as like a player with upside. So it was a very good question. I didn't give it enough credence at the time. It was a good question. I love those moments where you start making new philosophies and discoveries. Yeah, sometimes it'll happen, bro. And I'm quiet too. Like I get really quiet. I don't say like already by nature. You guys see like the animated version of me talking fantasy football, but like I'm not really like truly outspoken. I'm not like always talking. I don't always need to be the center of attention. So in those moments, I really kind of hone into that, and I get dead ass quiet and tired. That's what happens to me. And then I start thinking like, I'll tell you, I'll be on that philosophy shit, bro. I found a pick of my team from last year. I don't know how to send it. Yeah, Derrick Henry and T. Higgins. All right, that makes it a little bit more believable, especially the T. Higgins side. I know he was terrible all season. So you can send it to me on Twitter if you want, but that was just hard to believe. Like you had really good talent that played well later in the year. Yo, I was out. I was gone, bro. I'm telling you, when I say I was gone that day, because and especially when it's unexpected too, right? Like when you can mentally go into like, all right, I'm gonna be partaking in some fun activities. Like that's cool. You can stay on track. But sometimes if you're not expecting it, it hits you worse. And I was like, bro, it was a full ass brownie. I can't remember off top if I had more than one. I might have had more than one or asked for more than one, and he was like, oh no, you don't want more than one of these. I think that's what happened. But I was gone for like the whole next day. I didn't do anything. I used to work at this place called the Art Institutes, and I did like admissions for them, right? Like where you recruit new students. And that was my job, was like to recruit new students. So the next day, it was a Saturday. I'll never forget because it was a Friday night we did that. I had to work on a Saturday the next morning at like 8 o'clock in the morning. That was probably the most unproductive I've ever been at work. Ever. Like I say that and there's been times where I slacked off at work. I think you were supposed to make like 100 calls in a day. I may have made like one or two, Maybe. I didn't do a thing. I think I sat at my computer and just like put on Spotify and just like sat there for hours at a time. The manager wasn't there that day. So I just sat there and I was processing like what to do, but I didn't actually do anything. And I knew I had stuff to do, but I still didn't do it. I think I was like, if I'm just gonna get written up, I'll take like a write up. I'm just not doing a single thing today. And I don't think anything even happened of it. So I was definitely gone. Gone. And I shouldn't have been that gone. Gone. I was gone, bro. Who do you like more for this upcoming season, Cooper Kupp or Jalen Waddle? Oh, I love Cooper Kupp way more. Now, I think there's absolutely way more risk with Cooper Kupp this season. Way more risk. But to me, there's a lot more upside if he's not just fully removed from being like a 1A, 1B. If we can get 1,200 yards, 10 touchdown Cooper, I'd rather have that over Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle to me, he'd have to hit the yardage, stay healthy all year, which he's had trouble doing. But if he was like 1,308, that's probably about Jalen Waddle without the receptions. I think Cooper Kupp can still be a 100 catch guy. So I'm still in on Cooper Kupp. I'd say, hey, any edibles will get you. Any edibles will get you, bro. If you get the wrong ones, they will get you. It don't matter who it is, bro. They will, bro. Them edibles in general are dangerous. Rate teams, Jahan. I'm kind of running low on time, bro. And there's 14 teams. I'll try to do it right now while I'm sitting here. Ja was good, bro. We've been missing you. Hey, hit me, bro. You know how to message me? Hit me, bro. I gotta talk to you. Hit me. It's almost that time again. Let's go. Yeah, it is almost that time again. We almost back, man. So I'm gonna say one more time before we get off. I'm not gonna exit. I'll go over the teams really quickly. I will rate all the teams. But if you have not joined the Dub Club, it just launched today. It is free until the 15th, 14th or 15th. I'm going to be dropping my rankings on there and also my draft guide on there, weekly rankings, also my weekly player props. I'll have a player prop show where I give out some for free. But if you're looking for like my extensive list of player props and like stuff throughout the week, it will be on Dub Club. So sign up. If you're trying to get on, sign up now. You can take a look at how it works. If you don't like it, cancel before the 15th. I ain't going to be mad at you either way. You're still going to find value out of me here on YouTube, but that's going to be the way to get, like, if you're looking to make bread this year and like get all my shit, that's probably how you're going to do it. So if you're just looking for like casual stuff, I don't mind that either. It's going to be, that'll be on here, but everything is going to be on there for those looking for everything. I'm going to grab one more running back. I'm going to take Bigsby just in case. And then at receiver, I want to take another receiver. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to take another quarterback. Take Herb. 14 team, just in case I can't pick one out. We got enough for starters. We got 5 receivers. We got 4 backs already. We got 2 quarterbacks now in case Trevor doesn't work out. I like the setup. Got a tight end. We're good. All right, quick ratings. I'm going to go through them. I'll hit you on Twitter. Bet. I'll skip over my team. I like my team. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Illusion got receivers. Running backs are solid. I like the quarterback. Tight end good. Bench is a little weak though. Bench is weaker. I'll say you got some decent upside there. I'll give this team like a 7.8. This is I've seen you do better drafts than this. If Rashee Rice comes, you'll be all right. But I've seen you do better drafts. Actually, this is closer to an 8. This is closer to an 8 than a 7.8. Cody got Lamb, DK, Debo, Watson, Franklin, Baker, Chandler, Pierce, Benson, Montgomery, Paul. You just don't have a whole lot of upside on this team outside of Richardson. I would say he's like your biggest upside. Maybe Christian Watson. I give this team like 7.9. Nifty, Chase Waddle, Olave, Deontay Johnson, Mims. Hell of running backs down there. I love loading up on running back like that. Blake Corum. Got the young guys. I give this with 8.1. I like how you played the running backs there. Only thing is we're starting 3. Actually, I'm gonna rate this under. I'm gonna go the opposite side, 7.8, because we have to start 3 guys. You have a lot of upside plays, but we have to start 3 flex. Same thing here. You have to start 3 flex. Your flexes are kind of same thing here. Cody, you're gonna have to go down to the 7.8 marker. Illusions, you're starting 3 flexes. This is better. You're still at 7.9. 7.9, 7.8, 7.8. Yeet Man, and this is 14 team league. I got to remember that too. Neighbors, Jefferson, Brian Thomas, Adonai Mitchell. Yeet Man, you do this to me all the time, don't you? You do this just to piss me off, don't you? You draft it like it's dynasty. 7.5, Yeet Man. Brees, Evans, Devontae Smith, McLaurin, DeAndre. You got Curtis Samuel, Chase Brown, Gabe Davis, David Njoku, CJ Stroud. This is a good team. This is 8.3. Mohammed, we got St. Brown, Cooper, Ladd, DeMario Douglas, Wilson, Boyd, Jalen Wright, Jalen Warren, James Conner, Etienne. I don't like this team as much. This is 7.9. Q's got Bijan, Mostert, Spears, Hubbard, Nico, DJ, Hollywood, Jacoby Myers, Jalen Polk, Trey McBride, Kyler. This is an 8.1. Q, this is an 8.1. Good job. AJ Brown. I like how you got enough depth here. You got to, in a 14-team league or in a league where you have 3 flexes, you got to focus on players who aren't just like they could be good. You have to focus on players with starting roles or can attain starting roles very quickly. Otherwise, you're waiting for second-half players or dropping players that are in your starting lineup way too early. Toker Jones, you got AJ Brown. Why did it do that? AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, Rashad White, Pickens, Reed, Addison, good job. Downs, Bateman. Oh, Bateman is the other receiver I've been. Damn it, Jay. Cole Kmet, I don't love. I think he did good outside of tight end here. And Cole Kmet could hit. I could be wrong about that. So and you got Gus Edwards. I get this team like a solid 8. Toker. Chino is Gibbs, Pacheco, Elliott, Roshan, Keaton Mitchell down there. Ayuk, Keenan Allen, Xavier Worthy, Xavier Legette, Quinn Johnson, Brandon Cooks. Receivers are a little too risky for me, and you don't have the depth. Lamar and Kittle. This is like a 7.8. Devontae, London, Sutton, Jameson, Josh Palmer, Wandale. You're going to need help at receiver, third receiver probably. Kenneth Walker, Aaron Jones. You don't have like that lead back. Kenneth Walker should be solid enough. Zamir and Aaron Jones will work you out. I think your flexes would be weak here. I would still give this one like a 8. I think you could find a flex. I'll give it an 8. Bradley, you were doing good till you had to leave. You said Garrett Wilson, Diggs, Kirk, James Cook, Najee, Javonte. See, like you got solid core there. Burrow, if you would have finished that out, I think it would have been better. But you got solid core. Your draft did not finish out very well. Next, you got Puka, Harrison, Higgins with Shaheed, Pearsall, Mooney, McCaffrey, Brian Robinson, Jerome Ford, Zach Moss, Mixon. So you got starters there. Kincaid, Jaden Daniels. This is solid 8.1. 8. I'd say 8.1. You got good starters all the way through. Taylor, Barkley, Tank Dell, Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyler Lockett, Mike Williams, Judy. I don't love this team, but I think you did good there. Algier at your third running back. This ain't bad. This is closer to an 8. I think there was only like one team I really liked. I want to say it was this one. This is probably my favorite team right here. This is Jalen Hurts with 3 Zs. I think this is my favorite team out the bunch. So good job, y'all. 14 team is tough. 14 team is tough, but I think this is my favorite team out the bunch. Are you still going to use Patreon for fantasy or is it Dub Club? It will only be Dub Club. I'm going to get rid of it. Sorry if you joined for the Patreon. I might post one link to the Dub Club there. I'm not going to delete it until after the 15th. So if you have something that you want to see on there or want to save, go ahead. But the Patreon will be no more. It will only be on Dub Club and then here on social media.